Welcome, Solex Nation. It's another Wednesday night. We're so happy to be here with you for this weekly update.
And it's the start of a month. It's November.
It is November.
Welcome to November.
We had a really fun launch last week. We had our new pet scan that just showed up on your scanner. How exciting is that?
Yep.
We had a lot of people calling in, so excited about it. In fact, there were a lot of people actually, that called in wanting to sign up for a scanner for a subscription just so they can scan their pets.
Yeah, just to be able to do pets.
Yeah.
And we saw so many posts out there of people doing exactly what I invited them to do, is like not just scan your own pets, but go to your neighbors and scan their pets. We had so many submissions. People posted on social media. The outcome, that was awesome. It was great to see all of the enthusiasm. Obviously, we're excited. We said that last week.
Yeah.
You're obviously excited. So, and it's really cool to see this connection. You know, not just new people being exposed to the pet scanner and wanting to get a subscription now in order to scan their pets and then obviously get the benefits for themselves. But we're also getting even other people who maybe became disinterested, didn't pay attention as much to the scanner, and now they're coming back.
Yes.
Because they are seeing the pet scanner. And so that is really cool
fun
to see.
Well, and the truth is, our pets they're just like our children, right? It's like, I know for a while, I was spending more money on grooming my dog than I was on grooming myself. So
Yes. And I walk around with socks with my dog's face on it.
He does.
So
yeah. So anyway, we love our pets, and we're excited that you love your pets as much as we do. Okay, so we had a contest last week.
Yes, we did.
We asked you to watch our weekly update on our YouTube channel, Solex LLC, after you had done a pet scan, and then tell us about it. And then what were we going to give away?
We were going to give away the other surprise from last week, and that was Pets Plus, the new supplement, vitamin, dietary, health, all things. There were so many things that are in this supplement. We're going to go into more detail about those, but we're giving away a month's supply for that.
We are.
For those comments.
So,
and we have the comments here in your basket.
Should we do something a little off the cuff?
Oh, no. Yes.
Should we draw two?
Yeah, why not? Let's do two.
Okay. We're going to draw two of these comments. We'll read them right now. Here, you go first.
I go first. I usually close my eyes, but I can't see it anyways. So, and the rule is I'm not supposed to say who this is, even though I know it's on your screen right now, or it's going to be on there in just a second. Just an update to add to my scanning my cat. Her scan showed out of balance, high hair products. Just before I scanned her, she was sitting on my head, biting my hair. I just got my hair done. More than usual hair products. Pet scan was spot on.
I love that.
Melilli Smith, that's awesome. I love that your cat was on your head biting your hair. that was worth Pets Plus all by itself. But the fact that biting your hair, you just got your hair done, all the pet product or hair product in that, and
showed up in the scan.
There it is.
We've been hearing that. That's what we've been hearing.
Yeah.
There are some interesting stories coming in. I don't know how much I want to say right now because I know we're going to highlight a few of them in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we've had some phenomenal testimonials already of people that say, my dog has X. And guess what came up on the scanner?
It came up on the scan. Everything that the vet confirmed, everything the vet had already told me. Like, for example, there was one dog that had been diagnosed with something very specific. And this person ran the scan on the dog, and it pulled up exactly what this dog had been diagnosed with. Is amazing.
Yeah.
So anyway, we love to hear that. So Melilli Smith, a month's worth of Pets Plus is coming your way, and let's do one more.
Next one, bonus draw.
Bonus draw that we didn't even know about. I was blessed. Oh, I know who this is just by the name. You're gonna know. I was blessed to be able to scan my piggy britches.
Oh, I know who this is. This is Tammy.
Tammy Ward.
Tammy Ward,
because
Piggy Britches.
We love the name Piggy Britches.
Yes. The first time I heard this dog's name, I'm like, oh, I missed an opportunity. Lucky I will have more dogs before my life is over.
They can name one Piggy Britches.
Piggy Britches the second.
The second. Okay. I was blessed to be able to scan my Piggy Britches as well as my 3 grandpups and a client's horse. This scan is so amazing. I cannot wait until we have the comprehensive and the harmonic balancing is available. This is definitely going to be a game changer, not only for our fur babies, but also for our businesses. Thank you, Solex, for the scan, but also the Pets Plus. Wow, you guys are such a great company, and you keep us in your best interests. I love you, you guys. Thanks for all the hard work and for giving us all the best things. Well, we love all of you. So we're grateful for all these comments. And keep on scanning those pets.
Now, I have another off-the-cuff thing that I want to bring up, if that's all right.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. So with Pets Plus, you'll notice that the pricing isn't, we always have retail pricing for those that don't want to have any sort of subscription. We always have loyalty pricing, and that's for preferred customers and QLAs. Now, the one thing that we did introduce, actually, with this product was what's called this preferred pricing for auto ships. If you do put Pets Plus on an auto ship where it runs every month, you actually will get an even better pricing than loyalty pricing. Now, the rule is that the order has to generate from the auto ship. If you do it some other way, you won't get that special pricing. But there's a pretty significant discount that you're going to have to go check out if you add Pets Plus to a regular auto ship. So I wanted to just bring that up. Is that okay?
Well, yeah, and actually to add on to that, Pets Plus comes in per dose, right?
Yeah,
so a single serve packet. So you're going to get 30 packets in your 30-day supply.
Yep.
Some pets that are under, like a small pet, like a bird, a hamster, a really small dog, are going to take less than a full dose.
Yes.
So think about what you have left to pass out as samples to your friends.
Right.
Let them try out Pets Plus. Let them see the benefits in their pets, and then and just spread the goodness. Yeah.
It's a great product. We love it. We think we've put a lot of effort into putting this together, and so we wanted to make sure that it was like Tammy was saying, your best interest in mind. We try to do everything we could to try and make it so it was as accessible to you and your friends and neighbors, anybody who loves pets, right?
Yes.
So
it's
there.
All right.
There was my tidbit that my little.
You always have something.
I'm shooting from the hip here and there, but hopefully you appreciate it. And if you don't, you can let us know.
Yeah.
And I'll just stop talking right now.
Okay, let's move on to Top Enrollers. And this is for last week.
Yes, last week. So we have Top Enrollers from the 25th through Halloween.
Through the 31st.
Through the 31st.
Yes. So, okay, this week we have a tie for second place.
Of course, we always have a tie for second place.
But we also have a tie for first.
Well, that doesn't happen very often. Yes, you can.
That doesn't happen.
I'm probably distracting people.
Yeah, you're like waving around the. Yeah. So
let's
start with second. Okay, let's take turns going back and forth.
All right, you first.
Okay, second place, Julie Melilli,
Paige Haines,
Cathy Deane,
and Jeffrey Daugherty.
Great job. That's a big deal. That they work hard, and we've heard those names before. Yeah. So well done.
But a tie for first.
And we've also heard these names.
We've heard these names, and this is Solex Silver Coin, and in the Legacy Club.
Part of the Legacy Group.
Now these two happen to already be a part of the Legacy Group. I think.
Couple times over.
Yeah.
You want to read the first one?
All right. Jessica Zevallos.
Congratulations,
Jess.
First
Good job.
Place top enroller. And you are tied with
Tammy Ward. Oh, my goodness. Yes, this is the Tammy Ward show. Right, today. Geez, Tammy's... Yeah. It pays in so many ways, you guys, just to contribute and be part of, engage in the contest. It's just fun. I hope you have a good time doing it. But even that, in sharing the goodness, we know that Jessica and Tammy, as well as Julie, Paige, Cathy, and Jeffrey, all, along with many others who are just on their heels, have done a great job this last week, reaching out, sharing, scanning, and doing all of that. Like like I've said before, the more scans we do, the better our system gets. That includes not just people, but pets.
Yes, it does. And we just hit last weekend 2.1 million scans performed.
2.1 million scans. I want to see zeros on the end of that. Well, isn't it going to be great when we're saying 200 million scans in a year? That's going to be incredible.
We're on our way.
So
the goal is to have this in 100 million homes.
That's
we're on our way. Okay, we want to leave you, before we start this call, we want to leave you with just a tip. We have actually had this question come up quite a few times, and so we thought we would address it here today. A lot of people are asking, if I don't have a Solex negative ion pet collar, what do I use as an ID number when creating my pet's profile?
Yeah, this is a good question, because not everybody has one. But we need a unique identifier for sure.
Right. You need a unique identifier in there for your pet's profile. So we have 3 suggestions. Our top suggestion will always be to have a negative ion pet collar for your pet from Solex. Not only will you get the tag ID number, and that's what you can use to create your pet's profile, but your pet will also have the benefits of the negative ions of the SiBin, just as you get when you wear any of our negative ion products. So we'll always suggest that first, and that's the top ID number to use.
Which is rechargeable, by the way. Those negative ion collars are rechargeable. Most of your pets are out in the sun anyways, and so it's going to be recharged all the time.
Yeah.
But once every 2 weeks, couple hours, it gets recharged, and those negative ions get activated because of the SiBin and the black tourmaline that are a part of those collars. So that's the first way we would suggest having an ID number for your pet. The second way is if your pet has a microchip from your vet. You can use the number on the microchip. Okay, third way, if you don't have either of those 2 first suggestions, the third way is you can take your pet's birthday followed by the first letter of the pet's name. For example, my dog's name is Magnus, and Magnus was born January 3rd, 2018. So Magnus's pet identifier, pet ID number would be 01032018M for Magnus. Okay, so that would be his unique number. Okay, so just a quick tip for you, and now let's get into the call. Yeah, we got some good stuff from Loran today, so hope you enjoy it. Hello, everyone. We are in love with the pet scanning ability here at Solex, and I brought another special guest today. His name is Magnus. Magnus is a 2nd generation mini schnauzer Yorkie, and he is just looking for treats right now. You can see we got the big collar on him because we want him to think like he acts like he's a big dog, a large dog. We have that. We have the tag, and we're going to see if we can get him to turn around. Mags, are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? Yes, you're going to be a good boy. Good job. So today we're just going to show a live presentation, or at least a recorded live presentation of what it takes to get the first scan done on your pet. So what I have here is I have my AO Scan app up, and you'll see that here on the screen. And like Loran taught us, what you do is you start out, by default, you're going to be under your own profile. But what we want to do is be able to first add a profile for your pet or the animal that you're going to be scanning. And so in this case, this boy's name is Magnus, like I said, and so I'm going to put in the information. I first have to click on Pets and Animals, and I'm going to add a profile here. Okay, let's put in Magnus as his name. And he's a dog. And you'll see that as soon as I click on dog, it brings out a list of the dog's breeds. And like I said, Magnus is a mixed breed. And so I'm going to click on the top one, mixed breed. And then in that, I can choose up to 5 mixes. Well, I know the 2 main mixes that Magnus is. And so I'm going to scroll down here, way down to the bottom. And we're going to look at standard Schnauzer and the other one is a Yorkie. Those are the 2 closest that I have for Magnus, and so as a mini Schnauzer Yorkie, that's what I'm going to go with. As we get more breeds loaded in and mapped properly, we'll obviously add those to the profiles that you can set up. But for Magnus, that should be enough for him. Now Magnus, believe it or not, was born on, April of 2 years ago, And so that's going to be 2019. And then I have to put in his ID tag. So I'll just take a minute here. Okay, it looks like we did that right. And then I'm going to take a picture of Magnus. Hey, Magnus, here. Let's get your picture, bud. And then I'm going to, there you are, ready? Perfect. We'll use that photo. There's Magnus in our screen. I'm going to save his profile. Now that I have Magnus's profile all taken care of, I can then go in and use him under the vitals. I click on vitals. You can see, like Loran said, it first targets me, and then I select Magnus's profile. And you'll see the vitals scan list, how that is altered based on the pets. At this point, then I'm going to click on scan for Magnus, and that scan takes place. And we just go through, just like Loran did the other day. We're doing the scan, and you'll see the dog profile as we go through the different areas, the frequency areas of the body. How's that? Is that pretty intrusive, Max? Yeah, you're doing all right. You just want a snack, I know. Obviously, we want to not just go through the scan itself, but even with your pets, like the mantra is for everybody who does a scan, you always optimize after doing the initial scan, and then you can jump into the reports. And so as soon as this scan, we'll speed things up and we'll go through this scan and then catch up to see what the report looks like for Magnus. Okay, so now with the optimizing frequency done, we can now look at Magnus's report and scroll through, and you can see, although you see my name on the very top, the vitals report, the name is for Magnus. And so we're going to jump through that. We see his birthday, and then we can go see what the original scan was and then what the optimizing scan looks like. And Magnus, you're looking pretty good overall, buddy. Certainly some frequencies we want to pay attention to and learn from, but we overall love the performance of the PET scan. So now let's look at the other part of what's available in the scanner for your pets, and that is Cepheid, the Subtle Energy Frequency Imprinter. If you go back to the infinity sign on the top left and go back to the main screen, you can then click on Cepheid, at which point you can then reselect your target as the pet that you want to send or broadcast that frequency to. In this case, we're going to do that for Magnus, and so I have Magnus's profile set up. Maybe I want to erase things for Magnus, and I can certainly go through that process and that function for him if there's any frequencies or maybe mistreatment or something like that that Magnus has experienced, and to help him in that process. But then I want to send out, and I don't know, Magnus might be just acting a little bit different than usual, and I don't know exactly what to do for him. So I'm just going to jump onto the complete frequency set, and I'm going to run that for a couple minutes for Magnus just to see if I can help him out a little bit in this process. And that's where I would start. Now, obviously, if I knew specifically what I wanted to send a frequency or broadcast, what frequency I wanted to broadcast for Magnus, then I would just do that. But in this case, where I don't know exactly what's causing him to be a little bit off, a little bit different, I'm going to jump into the complete frequency set and use that as my base platform for moving forward. That gives you an idea of the power of the Cepheid broadcast to your pets, your dogs, your cats, your horses. Those are the profiles we have so far. And as we add more, you'll be able to do with more animals as well. But right now, we get the benefit of being able to do even the Cepheid function and to love your pets that much more in what they're experiencing. So get out there, start scanning your pets, start scanning your friends' pets, making sure that they have all of the frequency benefits that they can receive because you have it right here in the palm of your hand. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was helpful. Thanks.
Well, does everybody like your PET scan? I think you did. In 24 hours, over 600 pet scans were performed from Wednesday night to Thursday night. 600 pets were scanned. And I'm not quite sure what it is today, but I know it's well over 1,500. And as Shelby mentioned earlier, we hit 2.1 million scans last week. Let me just put that into perspective. We hit 1 million total scans performed from August 25th of last year to May 15th, I think, of this year. So in that 8 months or 9 months time, we did 1 million. Well, in 4 months, just barely over 4 months, we've done another 1.1 million scans. This is awesome, guys. That means you're using the tool that you have. And that is like watching your babies take its first step. You guys are using it, and that is what makes it cool. And what's really cool is your feedback and your questions and your sometimes even concerns. These things have helped us take the scanner to a whole new level. Those of you who have been with us for this, 14 months now, you have seen where we started and where we are today. This is a major, major jump. And if you've only been with us a few months, talk to somebody that's been with us since August. We had inner voice, we had a little bit of vitals, we had a little bit of comprehensive, couple things in Cephi, not a lot. What has happened is your feedback, and your feedback has helped us determine where we were weak and where we become stronger. It also helped us fine-tune some of those algorithms to where the information became more beneficial and useful to you. We're asking you to do the same with your pets. Use your pet scanner. Like I said last week, your spouse doesn't count as a pet, but somebody you know has a pet. Scan them and see what they come up with. One of our veterinarians is going to come on in, maybe even today or next week for sure, and give you some of his insight of what he's seen so far. And it's been amazing, and it's going to continue. But more and more of that information will help us fine-tune the pet scanner, just like the inner voice, or the rest of the scanner. So let me go into a couple things. Some of the questions that have come up since PetScan was launched last week was, what if I don't have a pet collar? Okay, so that's a good question. Why do you want a pet collar? One, the pet collar all by itself is infused with cybin and tourmaline. And just that collar around your pet's neck is going to give them more energy in the way of negative ions and far infrared. You're going to see pets that are struggling, and especially pets that are a little older, are going to have more agility and movement. That's one. But what's inside the collar, or what's attached to the collar, the little blue chip, is an identifier. And with that identifier, we're able to zero in on that particular location or that particular item or pet. Now, I want to address something, and I hate to admit that I don't know everything. Ask Shelby and Kaj, but I don't. And here's the thing. Some of the questions that come in, how does the scanner know where I am or where my pet is or where somebody is? Let me talk a little bit about the signature, because the signature is important. We create a digital signature that is created or converted into an algorithm. And I don't want to get too technical about it, but it becomes a unique identifier for you or your pet or whatever. That signature can be made with just your name or just your picture or just your birthday or just your weight. The challenge is the more information that we have on you or the pet, the more refined that signature, that identifier becomes. Now, as we've mentioned in the last call, for humans, we don't need the picture now. It is not necessary. I still use it. I encourage you to use the picture, but it's not necessarily a part of making that signature anymore. But with animals and with your pets, their picture is really a big deal. If you can just get their picture, and if that's all you had was their picture, that's a really good identifier. Now, if you know their approximate birthday, and again, that's approximate. Some of you have adopted an animal that from a rescue place. and you don't know the birthday, then use the date that you adopted the child or the pet. The more information you can give, the better that's going to be. Now, how does a signal from your cell phone find the appropriate cell phone on the other side of the world? I don't know. I'm not going to tell you that I do. I just know that it does. In the same way with the scan and with the Cepheid, we are giving it an identifier, your signature or your pet signature, and when you send that information, whether it's a scan or the response back from the scan or the Cepheid, it knows where that identifier is. And it doesn't matter if it's right next to you or on the other side of the world. That's how it works. Just like you can make a phone call to somebody on the other side of the world and they get it. So people like Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, Hertz, all of these different people, they knew that this worked, that you could send frequency and information through the ether, through the air, and it would find its target. Just like a mother knows when a child is not doing well, maybe hasn't come home early or on time, there's a sense. And how does that work? We don't know, but it works. And that's how subtle energy works. I like to refer to it as like an electronic prayer. Actually, my son is the one that coined that phrase, but I think it's appropriate. We're sending a signal with the intent of it being received, with the knowledge that it's going to respond back. So bottom line is, don't get too hung up on trying to put your identifier. Just understand it's important, and the more the better. Okay, along with that, we had some people saying, I'm adding my pet's supplements to the supplement library. And it's not the same. We're working on a pet supplement library, and maybe a week or two, maybe 3, we'll have that done. The algorithms for the pets are entirely different than the algorithms for the supplement library for humans. We're all mammals, and so a lot of it's the same. You know, our blood work is very similar. Values might be different. Comprehensive isn't available yet, and yes, I've seen that some of you are doing comprehensive scans on your pet, but you're actually using a human anatomy, which is similar, but it's not the same. So you're going to get some things that can be skewed and skew up that. So I'm asking you to wait until we have the comprehensive for the dogs, the cats, and the horses, which will be soon. So within a few weeks, you'll have the full ability to do the vitals and the comprehensive for the dogs, the cats, and the horses. In a pinch, yeah, you can scan those pets with the human anatomy, but just unless you're a veterinarian and you can really understand how those intermingle, you're going to come up with some maybe not good information. So hold off. Don't put your supplements or your foods for your pets in your supplement library for humans. It's coming, and it will be made for specifically the pets. And the anatomy is coming well. It's looking great, and you're going to be so excited about it. One of our vets did a test with that, and it was smack on where there was a problem with the vertebrae. It came up with the exact same vertebrae, but that would have been skewed if you'd have scanned them on a human anatomy. So just be patient. It's coming. All things in its time. So, but along those lines, there is an announcement, something that is going to happen either tonight or tomorrow night, and that is the pet version of Inner Voice, Pet Harmonics. And that, instead of coming from a voice, it's coming from the vital information, the vitals that we get on the cat, the dog, or the horse. From that, we're able to ascertain where some of the emotional disturbances are, and you know that Inner Voice is dealing with the emotions. And so when you're done doing the scan, it will come up with the 4 harmonics for the animal. Now, one thing you need to understand, one question that came in was, do I need to put the headset on the animal? And the answer is no, you don't. And the reason is pets' hearing is much more sensitive than human hearing. Their sense of smell is much more sensitive than ours, as is taste. Totally different, completely different. We can't scan them and optimize them with human information. That's why it's taken us so long to get the vitals portion done. Comprehensive will follow. We get the information from the animal through the vitals information. When you play that, it can be on just speakers in the room. They don't need to be right here on their ears, but at a lower volume. Remember, your animal's hearing is much heightened, more heightened than ours, and you can hurt their ears if it's too loud. We don't need the bone conductor on the animal. We just need the caller or the identifier, and if you don't have that yet, then just a good signature on that animal. So let me just end on this here. There's a lot of questions that have come in, and way too many for me to address right here today, and so we're going through them, and we'll get those compiled and put together. So more information next Wednesday. Use your scan. Use it on yourself. Use it on your family. Use it on your pets, and let us know how it's changing your lives, their lives. And like always, let's just keep doing it one frequency at a time. See you next week.
Okay, so we're in the month of November.
We are.
Yep. Here in the United States, this month we do a lot to express gratitude.
We give thanks.
Yeah, we give thanks.
For everything that we have. And you know, I think it's a great principle, no matter whether it's in the U.S., anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
It's a great month just to give thanks.
Yeah. It's good to take time, set it apart, and see what is going on well in your life and being grateful for those things. People, circumstances, whatever it might be, there are things that we can see that are good. And I think that that's what we should make the contest this week about.
Okay.
Let's make it about gratitude. Let's, of course, subscribe and like this video.
Absolutely.
But if you go on to this video and just comment on either how you find gratitude, what you're grateful for, people you're thankful for, whatever it might be, you express some gratitude here on this call. And let's use that as the basis for some giveaway.
I love that. I mean, we don't do it enough.
No.
We don't express gratitude enough.
No, we
for
don't.
The things we have. So.
We don't. Well, let's kick off the month the right way. So we'll do that. So what should we give away?
LightWave Optical Glasses.
Yeah, to see the
There you
gratitude in your life, okay? And in
all the different shades.
through all the different shades of life, right? Oh, we're waxing poetic almost.
Oh, there we go.
No. Okay. All right. Normally I would give away one, but in your tradition, how many would we give away?
Oh, at least 3.
Okay, we're giving away 3 LightWave optical glasses if you comment, and we draw your name next week on this call.
On what you're grateful for.
Yeah.
And not necessarily the AO scan or Solex, just what you're grateful for in general.
Yes, I love that. Let's do it. You guys have a great week, and we're grateful for you.
Thanks.
This has been so great. Oh, Avada Kedavra.
Well, hello everyone, and I'm getting really predictable. That's exactly what I say every time we come on. I'm not going to start with that.
Some people.
Gluttonous.
Well, yeah, we eat too much. That's for sure.
Let's start over. That's
okay.